Okay, so today is Tuesday, December 2nd, and we've all agreed that the most useful thing for us is just to review the end of the semester, how to upload your folios um, for, for sharing, and basically how to wrap it all up for the semester, okay? So let's do it simply like this. Let's first acknowledge this is our last day of class. We meet next Tuesday at 11 a.m., which is a different time. It's during finals week. And what we're doing during finals week is we're all sharing our iPads. Okay? If you own an iPad and you can bring it, that would be fantastic. Okay? Um, the other thing is, if you would like to email and share your folios with somebody else, you can share emails with one another so you can send it to somebody else's iPad for feedback and review, okay? Um, let's just look at the activities for this week, which is mostly just your checklist for your iPad. So right now I'm going to demo, hopefully successfully, something called Folio Producer, which I found to be idiosyncratic but not difficult, okay? Just odd. Um, each of you, I brought my iPad for each of you to test, your publications if you want to connect it to your computer. And then there is very specific criteria for what should be included as content for your iPad for your publication. So that criteria, it's like a little checklist, right? Add the video, add the pan and zoom, add the image sequence. All of you know that. There's a certain number of pages. There should be a table of contents. There should be something called a cover. Oh, you know what? Let's launch as I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm thinking kind of on the fly here. But there's some elements that are really important that we can't neglect, okay? So hang with us for that. And I actually tried yours, I think it was, no, I tried my own at my studio. And then please note naming conventions. So what I've done is, let me get out of this here. Let me come back here. And here's our upload. Let's see if it lists everything. Now we're going to have to go back to one of the pages, which tells you, does everybody want me to go review the list of what needs to go into the iPad, or do you all know where to locate it?
I know where to find it.
Anybody need a review? You can all find it. You can poke around on your own, right? Okay. I don't want to waste our time doing that. Here's something really critical. What you are submitting to me is two things for grading. One thing is you're going to upload your iPad to this Folio Producer thing we're talking about, which means each of you needs to have an Adobe ID account, which you probably all have, I assume. And you all have to have Adobe Content Viewer to work with, right? If you don't, there's nobody in this situation where you don't own your Adobe software. Anybody here? Okay, everybody owns it. All right. Then you already have an Adobe account, or you need to create one. What you're going to first do is you're going to need to test everything, make sure it's all successful, and then you're going to have to package your file. Now, packaging a file would mean, for example, if I open an InDesign document, I just hit Command O to open it, but I think InDesign's sleeping a little bit.
I know, so it's very
It's
slow.
spinning. You can see my spinning going on. So I'm using Crystal Lee's file because she had sent it to me. And Crystal Lee happens to be very, very successful actually at packaging documents. So right here is her folder called Rancho App folder. And when she packaged her file, she was working with ranchoapp.indd, which is the suffix for InDesign. And because she packaged it using Creative Cloud, it created what's called an IDML file, which means it could be read by me using Adobe Create CS6. And when she packaged it, because she had links that were updated and she had fonts that were properly used.
Oh, be careful with that IDML because that's a an option, and if it's not checked, it won't save it.
Oh,
You
John's
might
right.
think it's there and it's not.
John's right. John said that you need to make sure you've checked IDML to include it. And then she has her overlay assets, and then she has her links, 7 zillion links, right? Now, what you can notice, though, I do want you to notice this because I'm preaching a different story today, which is because this is a publication that's viewed in RGB, because this is a publication that's viewed on a digital device, saving your files as a JPEG image is great, perfectly satisfactory, okay? So you can see she's got a ton of JPEG files, and she's got her movie, which is chasing Mocha around the grove, right, her dog, which is also part of the criteria to include a video. All right, yes, John?
Can you do the same thing with PNG files? Or do they have to be JPEGs?
You know, it's a good question. I think PNG files work fine.
Because
But
they're
I do not
They're
know.
lossless and they're superior to the JPEG.
I do not know for sure, but you could Google that for me to check out, because I don't know. But good question. Okay, so to package something, let me show you how to do it. Is there anybody here who doesn't know how to package? Okay, I thought that might be the case, which is why I want you to watch. But before I do that, I want you to see this. Your file needs to have a very specific name. And it should have your last name, _guide, _h, and then it'll ultimately save it as an INDD file. And why I assume that is the case, although this doesn't explain it, is because I assume this is the InDesign package for horizontal display, which if we were doing 2 displays, vertical and horizontal, we would need 2 separate documents. Okay? This is my assumption. I would put money on this one, okay? So what I'm going to do here, just for the sake of what you see, is I'm going to open this file, Crystal Lee's file here. We'll know when it opens if everything's updated. It'll tell us if there's warnings of links or warnings of fonts. And it's a big file, so it actually took a long time to resolve on my computer, which is screaming fast, interestingly. Yes?
Yes, you can use PNG
Yes,
files.
we can use PNG files. Okay, great.
Would that make it slower to load even though? PNG, because they're higher, they're bigger?
Not necessarily. They're not necessarily bigger.
Yeah, yours weren't, it wasn't cumbersome, it wasn't difficult. So notice that when I opened Crystal Lee's file, we didn't say, warning, your fonts aren't loaded, or warning, you have a bad link. Everything is happy. That's what you want. Now, in order to follow this naming convention here, we want Crystal Lee's last name, _guide, _h. So I'm going to take this file, I'm going to save it as the correct naming convention, and so it would be young guide _h INDD. Okay, that's the naming convention that we discussed. And so I'm going to save that file here. And then now my file's named under something new. And now this is how you package it, Curtis. You go to File and Package. But remember, everything has to be linked. Everything has to be, all your fonts have to be good. Otherwise, it will not work. Otherwise, your document won't work. Okay, now we have a warning symbol here which stops me. And the reason there's a warning symbol is because nothing's modified, nothing's missing, nothing's inaccessible. All the fonts are great. So the warning sign is telling me you used an RGB color space, red, green, blue, which is perfect because it's a digital display. Everybody get that? All right. And so now we click Package. It's going to take, there's an instruction page you can fill out, you can ignore it. And then it's going to take the name of your file, add the word folder to it, and I'm going to put it on the desktop, and we'll work from this one. And what John was saying is where it says include IDML, it has to be checked to include that file. If I uncheck it, it won't add that file. So you may as well. It doesn't cost you more. And you click Package. And this says don't steal our fonts. And you say I won't. And that's it. Now we're packaging the file. And it'll take a while to package because she has about 200 megabytes of content, which is a lot. Yeah, Crystal.
If you, I think I asked this before.
It's okay.
But, if you package your file and then decide to use a different font, will it automatically be packaged, or do you have to repackage it?
Really a good question. I don't think you asked it before. So the question was, if you decide to change the font you've used somewhere, do you have to repackage your file, or will it automatically update it on its own? And the answer is repackage it. Every time I make a change to a document, I repackage it. And I might name it version 1, version 2, version 3, because I want to guarantee I'm not missing a beat, because it's easy for us to miss something. Packaging assures you that you're not missing anything. And don't put your package inside the package folder, the old package folder. Make a new package folder by itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, the other thing is, so that's how you package, Curtis. Any questions about that? No, easy, right? Snap, okay. Then the other thing I want to focus on, so then the other thing you're going to do is you need to zip your package and upload that file for me. And how you zip it is you go to the desktop right here. Here's the folder we just created. You highlight the entire folder, which will have everything. It'll mirror exactly what Crystal Lee had already done. Fonts, links, overlays, etc. You highlight the folder, you go to File, Compress, and it's going to take that folder and it's going to compress it to a single file for you to upload. And I will see how large the upload window is, how much it lets you upload, but we can look right here. Let's see if it shows us file size if I extend out. You've got over 200 megabytes here, and I don't know if it tells us the limit, but I'll make sure there's like a 250 megabyte limit or something like that, okay? The other solution is, here you go. Oh, it says, some of your InDesign files when zipped are over 100 megabytes. If that's the case, you can separate your package folder into 3 zipped file uploads. I do not have a problem if it's easier for you. It would be less stressful maybe for you to put in a Dropbox link. Does everybody know how to use Dropbox? You could do a file share or a Dropbox link also if it's easier for you to allow me to download off of that. That's okay too. My preference is that you put it here. And the reason you really want to put it here more than anything is you want proof that you really did it. You know, your Dropbox might go away, and 10 years from now, the college is going to call you up and say, where's your files? And you're going to say, just go check Moodle, right? So put it, in other words, put it here because it gives you proof that you've really uploaded, okay? All right, so any questions about what you're uploading here?
Well, just, are you gonna change the size limit? Is it already?
Well, let's do it together. What the heck?
Because we could, I mean, I can upload it in a couple, but I don't know whether it's easier for you too, probably, to get them all at once.
Oh, it's easier to get it at once. It's a nightmare for me to get them separately, to be quite honest with you. So let's go to assignments, and let's just look together here what it is. And let me turn on editing in case that helps me. Turn editing on. Let's go to assignment. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to limit us to 100 megabytes is really what I'm not certain about. But let's see. Greatest submissions. Yeah, John.
I'll bet files that were uploaded 10 years ago at City College are gone.
I think you're right, John.
And in 10 years, I think Dropbox will still be there.
I think you're right. See, here's our limit. It's 100 megabytes. So the other thing you could do also is upload your Dropbox link if you want and a high resolution PDF so I can see all the pages you have so I know how it should look. Just as backup. That's an easy thing to do for you guys. So it's a 100 megabyte limit. You're probably, I don't know how many of you have more than 100 megabytes. Do you? Anybody? No? Anyway, so put it together how you need to. This upload lets you have 6 upload files. If you give me 6, you'll drive me nuts, and you do not want me to be cranky when I'm grading it, right? So, okay, so that's our story. You can't be late either. There's no late submissions, okay? So let's go back to our homepage. And the next step is right here. Let's go back down to the bottom. So your rubric, this is how you're graded. You're graded by all the criteria we talked about. Here it is. Read through it. I mean, actually, here it is. Cover design. You need a cover design for it. You need a table of contents or creative table of contents. You need at least 10 screens, and all of these elements need to be included to meet the criteria. Okay? And you can certainly do more. Don't let me stop you. And then here is, this is your assignment link, but this one right here is the instructions we're going to follow. This is what you do. This is really, I'm going to read this step by step just like you should, okay? So I'm going to close my Moodle page here, and I'm going to start working with what Crystal Lee uploaded here. So we named our page the right naming convention. One of the things let's read it just step by step. So this says that an article is one InDesign document with many interactive pages, or several. You're each creating an article. A folio is a magazine that contains all these articles. All of you are really just creating an article. You're really not creating a magazine. So in order to do this, we're going to go to Folio Producer and create a folio. And here's the step-by-step instructions for us. And this is all done through InDesign and logging into our Adobe ID account. So hopefully they'll let me do this. So we're going to open InDesign, and we're going to save it based on this, which we did, okay? Then when we're in InDesign, so let's go back to InDesign. Our file is named properly. Here's the asterisk, so I'm going to save it. And I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can put this side by side. All right? So now I'm in InDesign and I'm reading this. Okay, where am I? Okay, so I named it. Now I'm going to open Folio Builder, which is, should be sitting right here. There's Folio Builder. So I'm going to open Folio Builder, and I'm going to go locate Folio Producer. So let's see, I'm going to go to Folio Builder. I'm going to locate Folio Producer. Okay? Now it's doing something. It's opening Digital Publishing Suite. And it's going to ask me, I believe, to log in using my Adobe ID. Okay? So I'm going to sign in. I changed it the other day. I hope I know what it is. So my email. And I sign in. And by signing in, it's going to allow me basically to publish and share my publication, not commercially, but with other people. Hopefully I'm there. It knows me. That's good. I succeeded. Okay, and this is where I found weird idiosyncrasies, to be quite honest, okay? So again, I'm just following this here. So I've now signed into my Adobe ID. I've now opened Folio Producer. I'm creating a new folio in InDesign at the bottom of the panel. So if I go back to InDesign, down here at the bottom of the Folio Builder panel, it says Create New Folio. Everybody see that in the bottom right corner? So I click on it, and I'm going to be really consistent about my naming so you can follow this flow. So I'm going to call this Crystal Lee _ folio. I date everything 02, right? 2014. And this is one of the things we need to do. And I forgot to do this, which is why I had launched Photoshop. We need to do two things, as you'll see. When I come back here, it says we create a new folio, so this window pops up. And then we have steps. You fill out your name, which we did. And then we need to select the icon for horizontal viewing right there. And then we need to have both a vertical image and a horizontal cover design image, okay? Because it wants to have a cover display, So you already have your cover display. It's not a composite image. It's created in InDesign, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So my lazy way of doing this, don't do as, you know that saying that says, do as I say, not as I do, right? Everybody's mother told them that at some point in their life. Yes. I'm going to go to your first page. Oh,
It is, that's 11. Why is it backwards?
I don't know why it's backwards. Why is it out of sequence? It's weird. Here it is. Okay. So don't do as I do, okay? So in Photoshop, you can do this by making a PDF, for example. Okay? You could do this by making a PDF of your file. I'm going to move your little icon off here for a second and hit undo. And right now, because I'm lazy, just to be expedient for us, is I'm taking a screen capture of your cover. That didn't work very well. Let's try it again. And you'll see what I'm going to do with this. Okay, so I have a screen capture on my desktop of your cover. And now I hit undo because I want to put your speaker back. All see that? Okay, and I'm resaving your file. And then I'm going to go into Photoshop, and we need to make two covers. One is 1024 by 768. So I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to go to File, Open. All these new. Here's my screenshot. Don't do as I do.
I'm not. That was entirely different. I'm taking a photo of something else.
Okay.
Because it's going to be small, right? That's
It's
the
going to be the
purpose.
size screen of your iPad.
Oh, it is. I
It
thought it
is.
was going to be an icon.
No, it's not an icon.
Oh, okay.
It will be. I think it might be your. I'm not sure, actually. So here I am. I'm going to select pixels, and I want this to be, what is it, 1024? Talk about short-term memory loss. And 1024 and 768. So 768. And I'm going to say OK when it opens the.
It just changed.
I know it did. I'm going to go fix it. And it has to be exactly that size. So now I'm going to go to my canvas size. I'm going to go to pixels, and I'm going to fix it. And it's going to crop something. That's what it needs to be. Okay? And say OK. OK, I know I lost that pixel. And then I'm going to save this as cover. It doesn't matter what you name it. Save it as a JPEG. Cover 1024 by 768. And I'm going to save it as a JPEG image. And because I want to know where to find it, I'm going to go back to my guide right here. I'm going to go into the links folder, and I'm going to save it in here at highest resolution. Okay? And then what I need to do is this. I need to, and just for the sake of it, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go to canvas size, and I'm going to change my canvas, and I'm going to have an ugly image, so don't do this when you need to plan better than I did. And I'm going to make this 768, and I'm going to make this 1024, because now I'm making my vertical display, because you need both. Everybody get me? All right. So yes, I know I'm screwing it up. And so I'm just going to leave it like this, because you'll know. Well, okay. And then I'm going to save this as, and go back to the links box, name it as 768 by 1024, okay? Because we need these files. Okay, so now I'm going to close Photoshop and come back here. I don't think I need this. Close. Okay. And come back to InDesign and back to our instructions. Okay, so let's do this again. So we're going to create a new folio at the bottom, then we're going to name it, and then we're going to upload a horizontal image. I'm right here. And then we're going to upload a vertical image, which you're really never going to use for this go round, okay? And then it says you add the article using the icon at the bottom of the page, and then you add the open document and we'll see how it all plays out and change it to automatic. So here I am. So I'm going to Folio Builder. I'm going to create a new folio. I'm going to call it Crystal Lee, and I'm going to use the date, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to make it a horizontal landscape document. I'm going to click on the folder for my vertical cover design, which I had put in the links folder, if you remember. That's the vertical one. And if you have the wrong size, it won't work, by the way. It kicks you out. And now I go to the horizontal one, and I'll go here, because I tried using one thinking it would scale it, and it didn't. And then the instructions, I think this is it for here, and I say okay, if I remember right. Okay.
Default
I'm
format.
sorry?
Sorry, the default format.
Yeah, I left it as default format. And then here, now we're going to add, we created the folio, so now we need to add an article. So if you have your article open, select Add Open Document. So here, click Add Article. See, it popped up. Once we built the folio, this popped up for us. Click Add Article icon to add or import articles. If I click on it, it says the one that's open right now. Yes, that's the one. And again, I just keep my same naming convention, which is Crystal Lee underscore 12022014. And then article format is automatic. That's the thing we were supposed to add. Because if you look here, I just want you to, I'm not winging this, it's really, all these instructions are here for you. If you add your article, open document, yes. Name it whatever you choose, format change to automatic. So then you're going to see the upload in process. That's because I'm signed in. And I leave everything else just how it is, and I click OK. And now on the bottom right, you're going to see it uploading. It's uploading to Digital Publishing Suite on Adobe's website or server or whatever it is. Okay. And it takes a while, but not that long. So let me take a breath. Does anybody have a question so far?
Do you know what kind of file this is? I was talking to somebody and I didn't even know. I mean, it's not really an app, and it's not like it's an interactive PDF. I don't really know what to call what we're making. I mean, it's not fully an app. It's sort of just an e-document.
It's not an e-publication, because e-publications are like the books you download from Amazon. So,
You could call it an exercise in futility.
John, I know, John. You call it a folio,
Folio.
digital folio. That's what you call it. So I say I'm making digital folio.
Digital. And do we know the file type that it is, or it's their own
It's
proprietary?
their
media?
proprietary type. Yeah, John.
I found, I use a naming convention similar to yours, and I found that it's good to add a character at the end of it.
A version
So it's
number.
A version number.
Yeah, you're wise.
So that you can,
Screw up and do it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I do a lot.
You know what, I do too. Okay, so we saw it upload. So now, let's go back here. It says from the drop-down menu on the right of the Folio Builder panel, we select Folio Producer. And when the digital publishing website opens, you sign in using your ID. I already did that. Then you get a dashboard. This was the part that was confusing here to me, this dashboard business, because it kept giving me pages I wasn't expecting. So let's scroll this up higher so we can read it better. So here we are. Now we can go to Folio Producer. Actually, I think if we're right here, no. Let's come here. Let's go to Folio Producer. Okay, that's the page I wanted. It was hidden. Okay, so now that I've uploaded here, I go to Folio Producer in the dashboard, right? Y'all see that in the upper left there? Let's see what it says. So select Folio Producer, go to Folio Producer Organizer window, and you'll see the name of your folio. So here is our Folio Producer. Yours should be listed here. Okay, that was my test. That's what I did earlier. So yours should be listed here, and it's not. So
Is it done?
I thought it was. Let's update. So that's why I said this is the idiosyncratic thing. So DPS Folio Producer opens, you'll see the name of your new folio. Okay, well, let's do it again. Let's go back to InDesign. Let's go back to here. Let's go here. Let's go to Folio Producer. We're signed in. Open Folio, we don't want to do that.
I know when I made changes to mine, I had to update it. I don't know if that would help, but
You had to update yours?
yeah, there was like a right click or a drop down somewhere that was an update option. I don't know if that.
Yeah, there's an update right here.
No, but
But
it was
it's-
in InDesign.
Oh, in InDesign.
Yeah, and I don't know if that
Let's try this again.
pushes it out or
Let's
something.
try it one more time. Crystal Lee. Let's make you uppercase because that's important. This is what John was saying, version 2, right? And then it said automatic here and okay. And let's see why this isn't going up. It's writing a PNG file. Can you see that on the screen?
Mhm.
And it was idiosyncratic. I had to poke around a little bit. How many pages is you're talking about? Like 22?
I think so.
50, 112.
No, no, it's not.
You guys hanging in there? You okay? Nothing like watching a scroll bar simultaneously, all of us.
Does it do any cropping on those, like the landscape versus the
I
vertical?
did not notice that.
Okay.
No, I didn't notice it. It looked like it in the screen, but I didn't notice it when it displayed. And it may possibly just be an icon, but I think it might be the display. Okay, building the folio. Let's go back for our instructions here. So we added the article, we added the open document, we named it, we changed it to automatic, it uploaded. From the folio builder panel, select folio producer. Okay, we did that. And we should see the name of the new folio. Okay, so back to here. I'm updating it and refreshing.
I was just looking at mine because they were not showing there and they said local. So then I signed in from the folio flyout menu. There was a sign in, so I signed in from there and now it says upload to folio producer.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't done it yet.
Let's give it a try. Folios failed. Okay, so let's stop that. You said Victoria Torf signed in.
And then,
Go ahead.
yeah, just click on the menu.
The flyout.
Yeah.
And what did you say to? Because you weren't signed in. I am signed in. Let's try update. Is that what you were talking about, update? You were talking about that. All right. That's why I said it's idiosyncratic. You get it to work, but it's quirky.
Then you don't know what you did to make it work.
Well, and I got tangled up in the dashboard a little bit. But all the steps are here, and that's the trouble with books that you follow step by step. If you get locked into step by step and you're not good at troubleshooting, you know, somewhere in the middle of it. Let's see. We're updating. I am signed in. So, Catherine, what did you say?
Well, no, I was just noticing they all said local. So on the flyout menu it says upload to Folio Producer.
Okay.
Like that, now it's up there, but I don't know why it wasn't doing that. Yeah, it's saying upload.
Did yours upload to Folio
Yeah,
Producer? So it works and it shows. Okay, so let's just finish seeing what it gives me. And we found your update. Also, if you know, for your file, if you look down, at the bottom where it says no errors in that little green thing down at the bottom, you want to make sure you have no errors too. If you have errors in this, it won't work either. Uploading article. There, uploaded. I'm looking for my mouse. There it is. Let's go back to this. Dashboard. Folio Producer. I am signed in.
What happens if you click update?
I kept clicking that, it doesn't let me. So let's go back to InDesign and figure out where our snag is. So where do you see local? Let's see. See, we're viewing Crystal's now. That's what this is. It's lovely. Do you guys want to see what it is? The music was perfect.
Ken Burns Civil War documentary.
It was perfect. So I wasn't sure that these were working,
Okay.
but they do. You got to tug on them a little.
Yes.
And then you go to the ranch map. But I don't want to give it all away now. I really want to solve our problem. So I'm going to come back to this, okay? Let's see. Let's close that. There we go. So where are you saying sign in? We're still signed in. Let's go to Folio Producer again. And update. Nope. Let's come back here. Okay, let's try this. Let's highlight that.
They don't limit how many folios you can have, do they?
No, I don't think they do. Add article. Oh, is this what you said?
Well, on the flyout menu, yours look different.
That looks different?
Yeah, I have upload to Folio Producer under the import HTML resources. And that's what,
Import article? Rename folio? Where are you looking?
well, mine's different than yours. I have upload to Folio Producer
Upload to Folio
right
Producer.
under the HTML resources item.
Do you have CC?
Oh. No,
Yeah, this is what this is.
and that's the only thing that Kevin up there.
That's what this is too. Well, you can share it. Okay, let's, you can share it. You can email this to people once it's uploaded, but this should be uploaded. Let's see what the story is here. Here's your article. In the cloud, landscape orientation, landscape layout. We don't need a new folio. We've created it. Okay, let me sign out and just see what happens if I sign in again. Let's try Folio Producer one more time. See, this is where I got snagged. Obviously, I successfully did it.
And it showed your covers there too.
And it showed my covers, right, exactly. So let me sign out. Let's come back here. Let's folio status in the cloud. Let's take this. Let's go to Folio Producer. Folio Properties, Folio Producer. Maybe because I was logged in earlier. Let's sign in. Isn't it good to find, you want it to go perfectly, but isn't it good to know that it doesn't go perfectly with us together? So you don't feel bad. Okay, so we've signed in. So let's go to Folio Producer. Let's go to Folio Details. All right, let's see if we missed a step. So Folio Details panel, right side of the panel, you must add both the vertical and horizontal cover. We did that. Oh, I didn't get to this one. Okay. Folio Builder, drop-down menu, Folio Builder, Digital Publishing, sign in, select Folio Producer. You'll see the name of your new folio. Okay, we did that. Complete the areas with the asterisk, publication name. Okay. Yeah, we should be seeing it here and it's not showing us, so.
Why don't you sign out of it through InDesign instead of the internet browser?
Sign out of it here.
In the pull down from the folio builder, like sign out at the bottom there.
Oh, I just did that.
Did you?
I
Oh, I
just
thought
did that.
You did it from the.
I just did that, but let's look at
That's-
folio properties for a second. Let's do, maybe this was my problem. Let's do Crystal Lee. I bet I can't do special. Okay. Say okay. Folio properties.
Is it the hyphenation of my name that's the problem?
Could be.
Maybe it has to be like young or something.
Hyphen shouldn't be a problem. Are there any spaces in it?
All right, let's, that's a really good troubleshooting. Let's name it something like, let's just name it something else. Let's
Name it X.
go backwards. This is what we do. Okay. So we have our InDesign document open. It's named the right thing. We open Folio Builder. We go to Folio Producer. We're going to create a new folio at the bottom. Okay? New folio at the bottom. There it is, working. And here's the date. Okay. And now we want it to be horizontal. Yes? Now we want to add our vertical cover, which is that one. Now we're going to add our horizontal cover. We're just going to do it again. That one. Now we say we don't want to create it offline. We want it online. Now we're saving it. Okay, and now let's come back here again. So now we've got the folio producer, now we added it. Now we're going to complete the information in the pop-up window. We did that. Now we're going to click Add Article at the bottom of the page. So add the article. Add the Open InDesign. We're going to call this one Working again. And we want it automatic and high quality. Say OK. While it's loading, we'll keep reading this. Okay, we changed it automatic. Now we're going to see it uploading. We did that. Now we're going to go to the drop-down menu in the upper right corner of the Folio Builder panel and select Folio Producer. Okay. And we're going to sign in. Okay. And then we get to the dashboard. Okay. Folio Producer. We'll get there. And this is the part we didn't get to. We didn't succeed to there yet.
Can you share it from the Adobe server?
Yeah, you can.
You gotta
So-
try that. See if it'll share. See if the
Like
share
an email.
link works.
Oh, share it up to the server. What happens is, so I did try sharing my portfolio, my iPad, and I emailed it to people. And the way you share your folio is you upload it, you click share, you put in somebody's email address, anybody's. They get a notification to click to be able to view your folio, but they need Adobe Content Viewer on their device or their computer. Without it, you can't share it, basically. I mean, you can share it, but it won't succeed. Okay, so we're almost there.
Do we know if we wanted to put something on the App Store, we would have to pay $400 or $500 to be a developer with them, and then get licensed with the App Store as well, and then publish it? I think there's a per app publishing charge or something.
I think so too. Per download or per view, or, I mean, that's where their money is.
And then once that happens, when people get your app, they don't need to use the
They don't need Adobe Content Viewer.
yeah,
It would be a publication they'd be able to see
yeah.
on their device. Yes. Okay,
There has to
so
be somebody who's done a workaround for that, I would think.
you would think, right?
HTML.
Okay, so we're going to go to Folio Producer right now. We're going to go to Folio Producer. We're not making a new folio. This is not good. All right, so I'm going to pause this because it's really frustrating. Okay, so we're in InDesign. I just quit the browser. Now I'm going to go to your folio. Here it is. We've got a new folio. We're going to go to Folio Producer. It's going to launch a browser. It's going to launch digital publishing. It's going to ask me to sign in. Maybe there's something with my account. Victoria. Catherine, you had success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look the same as yours, because that option disappeared once it was published.
Oh,
Because I was saying if I saw the HTML,
you know, if this doesn't work under Folio Producer, I'm going to go to this App Builder for Mac and see if that's an issue. Okay, let's go back here. Let's look at this. It's not going to let me download. I get locked in here.
It will ask for the
Right, and I can't do that.
administrator password.
So maybe this is an issue with this machine doesn't have what needed to download for the Mac on it. But what happens is, I'm sorry because I don't want to really burn your time doing this because it's really that simple. We're like this close, okay? So I'm assuming there's something missing from this computer. Because all the steps we're doing is right. This is
it
not,
telling you what the error message is when it fails?
is there an error message when it?
Because my error message that I keep getting on like my computer right now as I was doing it with you is that the network failed. But it actually said an error message, so I was wondering if it would told you an error message when it failed.
Nothing, we've got no error messages here
that we saw.
that we saw. So I'm assuming that there's something on this computer that some part of this app that I don't have access to.
I see.
That's what I'm assuming, because it was not buggy like this yesterday with my little test. So what happens is, so now I'm just going to describe it, so I apologize. What happens is the folio name shows up here, and the publication name, I think, shows up here. And then the things you fill in are this, and here's the instructions. What happens is it shows up here, you click on it, you get a little display window, you fill out your publication name, so it didn't show up. You can call it what you'd like. You can give it a folio number. I just gave 001. You don't need a product ID, but I gave it just to see what would happen. And then the only other thing is you need to have the previews showing, but we already set it up like that so the previews show. And you select publish. You can keep it private, which means only people you invite see it, right? So you select publish, you'll see a window saying you've successfully starting to publish it, and you click OK, and that's it. And in order to share this, you need to go to the top of the page. There's an open button, and you share it. So right here, I go to the open button, and you can share the folio. Let's see, where is it? Right over here. Where is it? Let me go back. Maybe it's
So
here.
To the right of the open button, those little people also let you share.
Oh, here it
So
is.
you probably have to
Thank you.
select them.
You have to share it. But see, you know what? This should be live too, and it's not today, and it was live on my computer
Can
yesterday.
you select them? I don't know if it'll highlight blue when you select them.
It is selected. Yeah, John.
There's a remote possibility that it rejected it because of the copyright on the music. I know that YouTube, I'm afraid of this going up to YouTube because of that Ken Burns music.
Oh,
They will lock it up and won't let you use it.
oh, okay. Well, so you're concerned that the reason it's snagged is because of the music, but I don't think so, because this is private view right now. It's not public view. It's not going to prevent me from uploading it, I don't believe. But you're right. Right here is where you share, and this should be a live button. So next to the open button, your share button's going to be live. You click on it, and a window's going to open where basically you're going to put in my email, which is right here. So you select the share button, you add my email, and I'm going to get an email notification that it's sitting in my Adobe Content Viewer box, and I can view it on my iPad. So if you, Catherine, want to try yours right now, sharing it with Victoria at victoriatorf.com, I should be able to view it on my Adobe Content Viewer. It should be loaded into there. And I'm sorry, I assume the reason it's not succeeding here is there's something missing from this machine. But if you do follow each of these steps, you will be successful. The backup part is I will have your package, right? I mean, think of all the ways you're covering yourself. But I think none of you will have a problem. And if you all want to do today with the computers you have, because all of you have your own computer, some of you, you can test it. You could test just one page as an upload for practice instead of your whole iPad publication. Just practice one little trick, like the multi-state object assignment that you did. If you have that assignment, just turn it into this and practice it. And that way each of us can find out if we're successful with it, okay? And I really have to assume that there's something buggy with what this computer has available to it. Which probably, honestly, is this, which might be this, the app builder for the Mac, and it's probably not loaded here is my guess. And we'll have to ask Ryan that one. So are there questions? No. Frustrating to see something that didn't totally work, right? Are you trying? Is it working for you? You haven't tried. So what I'd like to do then today is this. I'm gonna sign out of here. What I'd like to do, are there any questions about what you need to upload for the semester, the final semester? Okay. The other thing is I have graded everything that you have uploaded ever. So look at your grades, because if I missed something, if you uploaded something late and I gave you a 0, call my attention to it. Don't assume that I know better, because I don't. Or if you email me something that somehow I missed, double check, okay? Because everything's been graded. So the last thing that gets added to your grade is certainly a participation grade and your publication, your iPad publication. Okay? Cool? All right, then I'm going to end our little video. And everybody